Hello, my name is Nicole Pasquarelli O'Brien, and I'm the interim head of school at Mount Alvernia High School. Each week, I share an email update with families. This week, we decided several members of our community would share updates with you as well. I want to start by saying how proud I am of our entire school community. To our faculty and staff who have jumped into online learning, who have worked collaboratively and maintained our school community. To our students who continue to navigate a new and challenging environment and work their hardest. To our families who have provided feedback and countless positive emails. And to our board members and the Missionary Franciscan Sisters who have offered countless ways of support, including their prayers. Thank you all. 4 weeks ago, we had no idea what our new reality would look like. During this truly unprecedented time, I am humbled by the strength of this community. We began planning for the possibility of moving to online learning after February break. Throughout our planning process, we focused on what was in the best interest of our students and our entire school community. That included making our own decisions for when and how to move to online learning, and financial decisions to continue to employ all members of our school community, including our hourly employees and our contractors. There is no roadmap for what we all have collectively experienced in the last 4 weeks, but we are doing our best, guided by our mission. Governor Baker has given the date of May 4th for when he believes schools can return to session. We will continue to monitor recommendations from the state and public health officials to guide our decision making. A few weeks ago, we shared an updated May calendar. It is our hope that if we're able to return to school and safely gather, we will be able to preserve some much-loved spring school traditions, including celebrating our senior class. This remains a fluid situation, and as we have more information, we'll share it with you. I encourage you to reach out if you have any questions or concerns in the coming weeks. I'm looking forward to returning to 790 Center Street, and until then, I encourage you to stay home, social distance, and keep our community in your prayers. Thank you, and happy Easter.
Hi everyone, Siobhan Mahoney, Assistant Head of School for Mount Alvernia High School here. Just wanted to check in and reflect on how the last few weeks have gone and where we're going to go from here as we move forward. Hopefully we'll be returning to 790 Center Street come May 4th, but that is yet to be determined. In terms of how we came to decide what our remote learning program would look like, those conversations began in February with department chairs. And then from there, it evolved to conversations during our faculty meeting where teachers collaborated with one another, determined what the best mode of having a live class would be. Would it be Zoom? Would it be Google Classroom? In terms of what is the comfort level for students and teachers with that technology. We also came up with a plan to identify who needed devices. If a student had a need for a device, more than one student in a household sharing devices, that's not going to work if everyone needs to have a class at the same time. And so we came up with a plan with the Director of Technology to identify any of those needs. We planned for week 1. We went into this planning, to be out perhaps 2-3 weeks. During week 1, students and teachers met 8 periods a day, 7:50 to 2:33. During that first week, it became very apparent that we would be engaging in remote learning much longer than originally planned. And our 8 period a day model from 7:50 to 2:33 was not sustainable. We needed to strike a balance between the need for academics, but also ensuring that the emotional well-being of our students was cared for. This isn't about just learning at home. We're learning at home during a pandemic, and we are reacting in that way of care and concern while also ensuring that academics continue. We revised the plan from 8 periods a day, where to instead students during week 2 and beyond are meeting with 3 to 4 classes each day. The amount of screen time is also limited, and we're tracking that through teachers writing down with the front office when they're meeting live with their classes. And this is to ensure that a student is not sitting in front of a screen for an extended period of time. That's not healthy or good for anyone. And so we're trying to keep track of that and tabs on when that's happening. We've continued to have ongoing communication with our students, teachers, families through a variety of different modes of communication. Sometimes it's a lunchtime meetup on Google Meet, or it's a quick email or a phone call. And that's the key here, communicating if things are going well, but also communicating if there is a hiccup along the way. I'm anticipating that there will be hiccups as we move into subsequent weeks with remote learning, and we will respond and come up with a plan to make any adjustments as needed. One adjustment we are making, regardless of if we return May 4th or not, there will not be any final exams this year. The last day of school will be June 4th. This was communicated through an email from Mrs. O'Brien a few weeks ago. And this adjustment was made in light of the adjustments that have been made with curriculum. Teachers are focusing on what is the essential questions that my students need to know by the end of the year. And with that, there have been adjustments with assessments and the workload that students are completing. And we're hopeful that making these adjustments while maintaining the integrity of our program will ensure that our students are prepared for their academics next year. This is, an unprecedented journey that we're all on together, and I am so amazed by the resiliency and the flexibility that I've seen in our teachers, our students, and our parents. None of this is easy, and you all are hanging in there, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you for everything. Bye.
Hello, everyone. I miss you all so very much. I look forward to you popping into my office in between classes for some M&Ms or pretzels or just to say hello. I would like to touch bases with you regarding a couple of things. Your teachers and the administration have worked very hard to maintain a learning environment so that you can complete this school year and move on to the next level of your education. These are very challenging times for all of us, and everyone here is wanting to support you, whether it be answering questions, if you're having difficulty with an assignment, a project, or just to check in. Help is truly only an email away, so please take the opportunity to reach out to your teachers for any help you need. We each have a responsibility in this whole process. Yours is to do the best you can, to try to remain current, to complete your assignments, and to turn them in. Ours is to be here to support you in your efforts. Class of 2021, the juniors. As of right now, the June 6th SAT date is expected to take place. The deadline to register is May 8th, but with the expected volume of test takers, the sooner you can register, the better. You can register at collegeboard.org/register. The AP exams are expected to take place between May 11th and May 22nd in an online format. I will forward those of you who signed up for AP testing back in the fall the date and time of your specific test. Your respective teachers have received details of each particular test that they have been working with you on. The testing time is about 45 to 50 minutes with an additional 30 minutes prep time to prepare your computer. Regarding course selection, as soon as school reopens, I will begin individual meetings for course selection for next year. To the class of 2021, likewise, as soon as school reopens, I will begin the individual parent, student, counselor, college search meetings. Each of you will receive a comprehensive folder regarding all parts of the college search. The meetings can take place during the school day or after school in May, June, and then will be resumed again in September. Lastly, to the class of 2020, please email me any new acceptances you've received, any financial awards you've received, and finally, when you have made your decision as to the college of your choice, the name of the college and the major you intend to pursue. Until we meet again at MA, I sincerely wish you and your family health and safety and a very special Easter blessing. I fully believe we will emerge as a stronger and more caring nation, community, school, and in particular as individuals. Thank you and stay well.
Hello, Mount Alvernia. It's Mary Chick, Guidance Counselor for grades 7, 8, and 9. First and foremost, we want you to know how much we miss you, and we hope that we are back together with you again very soon. I'm here today to share with you a couple of quick self-care ideas. I have been communicating with students, and I recently shared with them, or reshared with them, a Google Doc with some self-care tips for them. I think that just as important as it is for our teens to try their best to care for themselves all the time, but especially right now, I think it's just as important for us as adults. I think sometimes it goes against our instinct when we are adults who care for kids and teenagers. It goes against our instinct sometimes to care for ourselves, but I do think that we are better able to care for our kids and teens when we're taking care of ourselves as well. And so I have 4 quick tips for you today, or a summary of the tips that I've been sharing with our students. So tip number 1, the mantra that I am trying my best to live by these days is balance. I think of the word balance in every aspect of life. So here are a couple of examples. I think of the balance between structure or routine and flexibility or freedom. It is true that our students need us to give them some structure. Teenagers do need some structure, but we want to balance that out with some flexibility and some freedom for them. So for example, we need to structure some academics for them, but then we want to balance that out with some time for fun, relaxation, free time. We want to build in some physical activity. We want to be sure that our sleep cycles and our wake cycles are balanced. Our diets are as balanced as possible. We do want to balance self-care and caring for others. Caring for others can actually be a really good thing for us. It gets us outside of ourselves a little bit. That can be really great for us, especially in a time like this. But we just want to be sure we're balancing that with caring for ourselves, of course, which is also necessary. And we also want to balance, as best we can, the news. So I think we are inundated with news these days. But as much as we can, I want to try to balance out the sources I'm using for my news and how much time I'm spending on news, because we do need a break from it as well. We need to know what's going on and we need a break from it. So my mantra right now is balance. Tip number 2 is to know that perfection is not expected and it's not necessary. I'm saying to you that my mantra right now is balance, and in my head I'm thinking of all the ways that I have not managed to live by that mantra in the past 3 or 4 weeks. So I don't really think perfect is a word that ever needs to be in our vocabulary, but I know right now it definitely does not need to be part of our vocabulary. Each one of us is just trying to do our best, and that's all we can do each day. Tomorrow we'll get up and we'll try it again, and we won't be perfect, and that's okay. Tip number 3, if you are feeling, or I should say when you feel unbalanced, because it will happen for all of us. So when you feel unbalanced, I actually think it's a pretty good opportunity for us to model for our teenagers how we deal with that. So it is part of life to feel anxious, stressed. Maybe you haven't been outside for 3 days. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep last night. Whatever the case may be, if you feel unbalanced in any way, I think it's a good opportunity actually to model for our students how we deal with that, how we cope, how we manage it. Coping skills are life skills, and so this circumstance we find ourselves in is a great opportunity to model for our kids how we deal with that, with challenges. So if you have not been outside for a walk in 3 days, maybe you say that out loud to somebody at home. I have not been outside in 3 days. I really need some fresh air. Do you want to go for a walk with me? I think it's great to model for them how we're feeling. And finally, how we're feeling, but then also how we're dealing with that, how we're trying our best to manage it and cope. And finally, my last tip is to please reach out if you need anything. We do have some resources on our Guidance Blackbaud page, and you can access that at any time, of course, and we'll keep updating that if we have any new resources we could add. But beyond that, please also feel free to email me or email Mrs. O'Rourke if you have any questions at all. We are here to help. We would love to hear from you. We miss you, so please reach out if you need anything. So please know we are thinking of you each and every day. We miss you so much. We can't wait to be back with you, and hopefully we'll be back together at Mount Alvernia very soon.
Hey all you Mustangs fans, it's Mrs. Goslin. I'm here to give you the spring sports update. But before that, I just want to check in. I hope everyone is doing well and doing what we've been told to do. I'm missing seeing all of you guys. I'm thinking about our seniors especially. I hope to get back on May 4th. So with that, as you all know, Governor Baker said we can go back to school on May 4th. As you know, this also could change, but we're working with our May 4th date. The MIAA has worked very hard to put this spring schedule together, so here it is. May 4th we will start. We'll have a week of tryouts or practice, and then the following week, May 11th, we'll start our games and matches. We are allowed 8 minimum and 12 maximum games or matches. So the coaches right now are working very diligently to fit our schedule into that time frame. So golf will end on June 11th, softball and tennis will end on June 12th, and track and field's league meet will be June 10th. If our teams qualify for sectionals or states, they will continue on and could possibly end by June 27th or 28th. With every other season, we still need our requirements of our physicals, and the MIAA concussion form, state concussion form, needs to be sent to the Wellness Center. You can throw that in the mail now, which will be plenty of time, or scan it to Mrs. Brancato. Another thing I wanted to mention was Varsity Night. Currently it is scheduled for March 28th at the Oakley Country Club. That has been moved to June 1st, still at the Country Club, but I suspect we'll be changing the venue due to the COVID-19 scenario. Todd, the trainer, is going to be available for all of you on the week of April vacation. So I will, similar to how Mrs. O'Brien did the yoga, I will send a link out to all of you, and you can join him during the week of April vacation. I am planning and looking forward towards the fall season. I will be sending out a survey, so be keeping your eyes out for that, probably after Easter, but maybe that week after Easter. And it would be beneficial for everyone to fill it out. And then lastly, to my seniors, thinking of you, praying for you during this time of finishing symposium, picking colleges. I'm really praying we get back May 4th so we can close your chapter at Mount Alvernia High School. I miss you guys. I love you guys. Happy Easter.